In this video you will learn some of the basic functions of the Blender software program. You will learn how to navigate within the 3D work environment, how to open and close the surrounding windows. The first 3 tutorials are designed to help those who are unfamiliar with Blender, or who have not yet worked within a 3D environment before. We will cover some of the Blender toolbars, how to select various materials to work with, and we will demonstrate some of the basic structures of the mesh. We will guide you through each process step by step, so if you are new to the 3D space, don't worry. Let us begin by pressing the N key on the keyboard. The N key will open the Model Designer menu on the right-hand side. By hovering over the edge of the menu, you can drag the menu outwards. In order to import a scan, use one of these tabs over here, or you can simply go to File, Import STL, and do it that way. In this demonstration, we will import an STL scan file which is included in the module. To do this, we will use the tab on the menu. Enter into your C drive, then locate the B4D folder. For Mac users, the B4D folder will reside in your Applications folder. In the Model Designer module, open the sample file, then select both the upper and lower STL scan files. Go down and press the Import STL button. The dental scans have now been imported into the scene. We will first begin with navigation. In order to navigate within the 3D working environment, it is best to use a mouse with a middle scroll wheel. This will allow you to rotate, to pan, and to zoom. Start by rolling the middle mouse wheel. This will zoom the objects out and in, or in and out. Try this several times. In order to rotate, you will need to press the middle mouse wheel down while you simultaneously move the mouse. To pan across, hold down the Shift key, and simultaneously press the middle mouse wheel down, then move the mouse. It is important that you memorize these basic functions, so that you can quickly master your navigation skills. In order to select an object, just left-click on the object. Notice how the selected object is outlined with an orange border. This time, select the lower scan. It becomes highlighted. In order to select both objects, make sure one object is selected, then shift and left-click on the other object as well. Now both objects are highlighted. If you would like to deselect all the objects, simply left-click in the 3D viewport. In order to select all the objects in the scene, press the letter A on your keyboard. A stands for all, and will automatically select all the objects. To deselect all the objects, press both the Alt key and the A key simultaneously. Let us try this again. Press A to select all. Then press Alt and A to deselect the objects. Please remember, there is a list of shortcut keys to help you along, in the blue folder in the module webpage. Next, notice the green line. The green line is the y-axis, while the red line is the x-axis. The z-axis is currently hidden. If you press on the X icon on the rotational widget over here, the scene can be viewed from the x-axis point of view. Likewise, by pressing on the Z icon, the scans can be viewed from the Z-axis point of view or the vertical plane. This way, you can view the scans from above. A very important tab on your keyboard is the tilde key. By pressing on the tilde key, you can open a navigation pop-up menu. If your keyboard is missing the tilde key, due to you having a different language keyboard, please refer to the blue folder in the module webpage. There you will find a video to show you how to reprogram this feature, so that you can use a different key to call up the navigation menu. By pressing the front tab, you can view the scans from the front. In other words, this is from the y-axis point of view. The y-axis is the green line which cannot be seen here, since it is facing you. If you are unsure of your directions, simply cast your eyes onto the directional widget above. Again, we will change the vantage point to the right-hand side. Then back to the front. To recall, you can select any object in the scene by left-clicking on it. When the object has an orange outline or it is highlighted, this means the object is selected. You can use the directional arrows to move the scan upwards and sidewards. To undo an action, find the Undo tab on the menu and press on it. To redo an action, press the Redo tab. To undo, you can also press the Ctrl and the Z key on your keyboard. If you choose to move one scan by itself, there is a chance that you may lose the occlusal contact between the two scans. Always undo this action to get the scans back into their original position. It is best to select both scans by shift and left clicking on the other scan as well before moving the scans. In a later tutorial, we will demonstrate how to join two objects into one single selection by using the Join and Separate tabs on the menu. In order to randomly move an object in Blender, simply press the G key on your keyboard. G stands for grab, and is one of the most commonly used keys. Try and press G, then simply move your mouse. When you are satisfied with the location of the scans, left-click your mouse to set the scans into position. Another key, which is commonly used, is the R key. The R key stands for rotate. Press the R key on your keyboard, then move your mouse to rotate the object. Again, left-click to set it down. So let us try a combination. Press the tilde key to display the directional menu. Let us then view the scans from the top. Use the G key, the key for grab, then move the mouse to relocate the scans. Left-click to set it into position. Press R. R stands for rotate, then move the mouse. When you are satisfied with the location, left-click to set it down. Now view the scans from the front. Use the directional arrow to reposition both scans slightly. Next, navigate to the small grid icon over here. By pressing on the icon, you can view the scans from a dynamic point of view, or from an orthographic point of view. All Blender for Dental tutorials will display the scene from an orthographic point of view. If you would like to hide an object, first select the object, ensure it is highlighted, then navigate to the menu, and press the Hide tab. To unhide it, press the Unhide tab. The shortcut key for the hide option is the H key on your keyboard. Always make sure the object is selected, then press the letter H. To unhide the object, press the Alt key, together with the H key on your keyboard. We will try this again. H to hide, then Alt H to unhide. Next, we will discuss some of the surrounding windows. At the moment we find ourselves in the main 3D viewport. This is our current window. In order to open more windows, navigate to the upper right-hand corner of this window, then wait until the cursor arrow turns into a cross. When this happens, press your left mouse button down, and drag the window to the left. This will open a new window. Likewise, go to the lower part of the new window, and wait for the mouse to turn into a cross. Again, press your left mouse button down, and move the mouse in an upwards direction. This will open another window. Drag the new window upwards. Repeat the same process in the main 3D viewport, in the right lower corner. This too will open another window. While all three windows are currently copies of each other, we will change this so that each new window serves a different purpose. For example, by pressing on the Edit Type icon over here, we can change this window to display an outliner window. The outliner window will show us the name of each object currently in the scene. It will also let us know which layer or collection the object finds itself in. By pressing the eye icon, you can hide or unhide each object, or the entire layer in which the object is placed in. Moving down to the next window, again, we will press the Edit Type icon. This time we will create a Properties window. In this window, you will find many of the Blender tools and settings. Some of these will be covered in later tutorials. Finally, we will amend the lower window. Here we will select a Blender timeline. The timeline is an important feature, which is used for animation. To close each window, navigate to the corner and wait for the cursor to change into a cross. Press the left mouse button down, then slowly drag the window closed. You should see an arrow on closing the window. We will close these windows too. Let us briefly recap some of the navigation skills you have learned. Left-click anywhere in the 3D viewport. Press the N key to open the menu on the right-hand side. To zoom, roll your middle mouse wheel. To pan across, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, and while pressing the middle mouse wheel down, move the mouse. To rotate around, press the middle mouse wheel down, then move the mouse. This completes the 3 basic movements required for navigation. With a bit of practice, you should be able to master this really quickly. Use the tilde key to view the objects from a particular plane. With this, we will conclude the first basics tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. In this tutorial you will learn how to move and how to relocate an object within the 3D working environment. We will use the Blender menu on the left-hand side. This menu can be opened by pressing the T key on your keyboard. There are also several shortcut keys you can use to speed up the process. You will also learn how to inspect the structure of the mesh by entering into edit mode. We will show you how to select different textures for your objects. These are called the matcap features. Let us begin by pressing the letter T on the keyboard. This will open a separate menu on the left-hand side. By pressing the letter T, you can toggle the menu in and out. While working in Blender, we will mostly remain in the select mode. This is represented by the icon on the very top. When you are in the select mode, you will see the mouse in the shape of an arrow. Next, we will demonstrate what the cursor in Blender looks like. Select an object. In this case we will select the lower scan. We will zoom in a little closer. By pressing the Shift key and simultaneously right-clicking the mouse, you will place a cursor onto the surface of the object. A cursor is represented by a small red and white circle with a cross running through it. The cursor is commonly used in Blender. The cursor will let Blender know where the starting point of a particular action will occur. For example, if you are placing a text onto the surface of an object, it will let Blender know where to place the first letter of that text. Similarly, when you are using the arch cutting tool to trim the periphery of a scan, the cursor will act as a starting point for the arch cutting tool. You can practice placing the cursor anywhere on the object. Simply shift and right-click on the surface of the object. If you navigate to the icon just below the Select Options mode, you will see a cursor icon. When this is selected, you will be in the cursor mode. This means that if you were to left-click on the surface of the scan, you can immediately place the cursor with the left click. The cursor mode is generally not used a lot, as we usually work in the select mode. We will activate the select mode again. To recall, shift and right-click to place the cursor. Next, select the upper scan, then navigate to the menu, and press on the directional icon over here. This will immediately display the directional X, Y, and Z arrows. You can use these arrows to move the object in a vertical or a horizontal plane. Remember to undo this action by pressing Ctrl and the Z key. The shortcut keys for moving an object into the Z direction is by pressing the letter G, followed by the letter Z on your keyboard. This means that you are grabbing the object into the Z direction or along the vertical plane. Likewise, the shortcut keys for moving an object into the X direction is by pressing the letter G, followed by the letter X on your keyboard. You are then grabbing the object along the X plane. This can be done for the Y plane as well. Remember, by pressing the letter G on its own, you can randomly move the object anywhere within the 3D working window. If you press G, followed by the letter of the plane, you will grab the object in the direction of that plane. We will undo this action by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key several times. Next, navigate to the rotational icon over here. Press on that. Move one of the circles of a particular color, drag it up or down by holding the left mouse button down and into the direction of the circle. Each color represents a different plane which you can rotate the object in. To rotate the object with the shortcut keys, press the letter R on your keyboard, followed by the letter of the plane you want to rotate the object in. In this example, we will rotate the scan into the X direction. Likewise, this can be done for the Z-axis as well as for the Y-axis. We will undo this action by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key several times. Next, navigate to the scale icon over here. Press on that. By selecting any of the colors in the scale widget, you can scale the object into a particular direction. We will undo this action by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key several times. If you would like to scale an object uniformly in all directions, simply press the letter S on your keyboard. S stands for scale. By moving the mouse, you can easily scale the object. While the scale feature cannot be used to scale the dental scans, it will be used in a different application later down the track. Remember to always undo these actions by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key. Navigate back to the menu and press on the icon below. This is a general transform function and essentially combines the move, the rotate, and the scale function into one. We will go back into the select mode by pressing on the icon on the very top. If you would like to hide the axis in the 3D working window, you can do this too. Navigate to the toolbar on the upper right-hand side. By pressing this icon over here, you can either hide or show each axis. Simply tick the appropriate checkbox. Most of the Blender for Dental tutorials will show you how to work with the 3D mesh itself. Since there is some user input with each module, it is very important to have a basic understanding of the structure of the mesh. This knowledge is very useful when editing minor scan defects. To get into edit mode, first select the object you wish to edit. Then press the Tab key on your keyboard. At this stage, the mesh of the scan is displayed in orange. This is because currently all of the mesh is selected. Left-click anywhere in the 3D viewport to deselect the mesh. The edit mode can also be accessed by using the drop-down box on the upper part of this window. Here you can toggle between object mode and edit mode. There is also a sculpt mode and various other modes. These will be discussed in later tutorials. For the time being, we will explore the edit mode. To recap, use the Tab key to toggle between the object mode and the edit mode. Let us zoom in a little so that we can inspect the structure of the mesh. The mesh of the object consists of many small triangles. Each triangle, in turn, has a single point in one of its corners. Each point is known as a single vertex. The object itself is made up of many vertices. The lines which join the vertices are called edges. By left-clicking on a single vertex, you will select that individual vertex. Notice how it becomes highlighted when it is selected. You can select several vertices by using Shift and left-clicking on another vertex. When all three vertices are selected, you will see the entire triangle become highlighted. The surface area of the triangle is known as a face, while the connecting lines between the vertices are referred to as edges. In order to only select the edges, you can set the edit mode into an edge select mode. To do this, navigate to the upper toolbar and select the edge icon over here. With your left click, notice how only edges will become selected. Likewise, you can change the edit mode to only select faces by pressing on the face select icon. In order to move an entire face, press the G key on your keyboard. By moving the mouse, you can relocate an individual face to another location. By pressing the R key on your keyboard, you can rotate the face. This process of moving and rotating can be done with the vertices and the edges as well. We will undo this action by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key. Let us set the edit mode back to vertices select mode. Following this, we will zoom out again and exit the edit mode by pressing on the Tab key. Next, we will explore another Blender toolbar in the far upper right corner. Over here, we can set the objects into a transparent mode. Next to this is a wireframe mode. This is the solid material mode. Currently this is still displayed in transparent, so we will press the transparent icon to exit the transparent mode. Next, go to the arrow in the far right corner and press on that. Here you will be able to explore various different textures to view your objects in. These are called the matcap features. Each matcap gives the object a different texture and changes the way the light reflects off the surface of the object. The object can look glossy or matte in appearance. We will explore a few of these textures by clicking on them. The object can also appear metallic, or have a clay-like appearance. There is a random feature in which Blender will choose a different color for each object. This is very useful when making individual dyes for your dental model. The Model Designer module contains various matcaps which were installed earlier on. You can install your own matcaps as well. These can be sourced and downloaded through the internet. With this, we will conclude the second part of the basics tutorials. In this tutorial you have learned how to move and rotate an object. You have also learned about the structure of the mesh, and how to select various textures for your objects. Thank you for watching this video. In this third and final part of the basics videos, you will learn how to work with different layers, how to inspect the coordinates, and how to change the background theme. In order to find out in which layer you are working in, navigate to the upper right part of the 3D working window. Wait for the mouse cursor to turn into a cross, then drag open another window. Opening and closing windows has been covered in a previous tutorial. This was the Basics 1 video. Click on the Edit Type icon, and open an outliner window. On the right-hand side, you will see the layer structure of the current working window. Here you can press on the eye icon, to hide or to unhide any objects in the scene. Navigate back to the upper scan, and select it. In order to place the scan into a new layer or collection, press the letter M on your keyboard. The letter M will call up the Collections pop-up window. To create a new collection, press the New Collection tab. Now type in the word, upper. Then press OK. Notice how a new folder system has been automatically created, to include the new collection. Likewise, navigate back to the lower scan, and select it. Again, press the letter M on your keyboard. Create a new collection called Lower. Notice how the file structure in the outliner window has changed to incorporate the new collection. Click anywhere in the 3D viewport, then press the N key. Remember, the N key will display the Model Designer menu on the right-hand side. Enter into the View section and scroll down to Collections. Here you will be able to see the different collections. By clicking on the eye icon, you can hide a particular collection. By using a layering system, you will be able to avoid too many objects in the same scene at one particular time. This way, you can specifically choose what you want to work on, without it having any effect on the other objects in the scene. Next, navigate upwards, and press on the Item tab. This window shows the coordinates of an object's location within the 3D environment. The values for the x-axis, the y-axis and the z-axis are depicted here. For example, if you select both scans, and you change their location slightly, you will see how the coordinates change. Similarly, if the scans are rotated, you can observe a change in the values within the rotation fields. Below the rotation fields is a scale information section, and below this are the actual dimensions for the selected objects. For example, if we press S for scale, and then move the mouse, you can see how the values change. We will undo the previous actions by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key several times. We will close the neighboring windows. Following this, we will demonstrate how to change the background colors of the 3D working window. Navigate to Edit, then enter into Preferences. Go to the Themes tab. By moving to the upper arrow over here, you will display a list of the Blender themes. To edit the current background theme, scroll down to 3D View and arrow down. Here you will find many theme editing functions. For now, go to Theme Space, and arrow down on that. Scroll further down, and enter into the Gradient Color option. Try and select a new color for your background. Blender has great flexibility with its personalized settings, which will make your 3D experience even more enjoyable. We will fast forward this section, but feel free to set the background theme to what you like most. When you are happy with your theme, remember to move to the lower left icon to save your preferences. You can now exit this window. Next, we will show you how to change the colors of an object. Navigate to the Matcaps features. Here, make sure that you have the Material tab selected. You can also access the Material Choice checkbox by navigating to the Colors tab on the menu. Select the object, then move to the menu and press the color bar. Here you can choose a new color for your scan. Likewise, select the lower scan and repeat the same process. Finally, to delete an object, select it first, then press the letter X on your keyboard. Now press Delete. We will briefly undo this action by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key. If you would like to delete all objects in the scene, press the letter A on your keyboard. A stands for all, then press the letter X to delete. On this note, we will conclude the third part of the basics videos. Well done. At this stage, you have come a long way. You have succeeded to navigate around the 3D workspace, you have learned how to open various windows, and you have gained some essential knowledge on the various Blender menus. We can now commence with the Model Designer module. In the next videos, you will learn how to edit scan defects before designing your first dental model. Thank you for watching this video.